Hi there guys, Dermot. I'm the clinical director here at Rethink Physiotherapy, and today we're going to be talking about coming back to running after injury, and in more specifically calf injuries. Now look, when you're injured and you're trying to train for something and you're running, it sucks. There's no two ways about it. There's no point in getting down about it. There's no point in trying to kind of push on through it, because your body's going to fight back and it's going to kick you in the ass. So the easiest thing that you need to do is when something starts to get really sore, that it's unmanageable or your pain's getting a little bit higher, it's like a 4 or 5 or a 6 out of 10 after you do the run, it's lasting for more than 24 hours, you're still limping around the next day, it's kind of time to do something about it. Like, I mean, it's one of those things where you get a little bit of a niggle, you can get through it, but when you're getting to more 4, 5, 6 out of 10 pain, 10 is breaking your leg, and then you're also trying to run on it and you're sore for a couple of days after it, you're beginning to get into taking the piss territory. Like, it's just not going to end well at all, no matter how much you might justify it in your head or might say, oh yeah, it's getting better. Yeah, look, it's just not going to happen. And that's just cutting out the bullshit. That's just not going to happen. Now, if it was something that was a little bit easier and it was something that was just a little bit of a niggle and you were able to get through it and went away after you're running, absolutely fine. But something that's lasting for a day or two, you need to go get it sorted. So what to do? Let's talk about the calf injury. So you're running along, and next thing you feel a twinge in your calf. You get another 100 meters down the road, and next thing, pop, the whole thing explodes. You can't actually walk on it. It gets really sore. Now you have two muscles in your calf. They are the big massive ones called your gastroc, and then you have this triangular band called your soleus. If you're running at a pace that's slower than 4 minutes a kilometer, you're using your soleus in your quads. If you're running at a pace that's faster than 4 minutes a kilometer, you're using your gastroc, your hamstrings, and your glutes. And the faster you get past that 4 minutes a kilometer down to 3 minutes, or if you're sprinting into 2 minutes, that exponentially increases the load on it. So once we know what muscle you've injured, we're able to vary your speeds to manipulate the strength profile that you're using to do the run. I'll say that again. When you're doing your run, we can manipulate the speeds in order to influence the strength profile that you're using when you run. The faster you run, you use different muscles. The slower you run, you use different muscles. We're able to kind of keep you faster. So let's say you have an injury in your soleus, which is the slow one, we'll start to kind of strengthen that, but we won't fatigue out the soleus muscle because it has nice type 1 fibers, which are endurance ones. We want to try and get that working a little bit faster, but for shorter periods of time with a little bit more power. Then let's make you run that little bit faster, as long as the tissue has the capacity to do it. Now, I know if everybody's ringing this and goes, that sounds a little bit fucking crazy. It is, but when it's done within a controlled environment, it makes things an awful lot easier. It restores confidence. But the one key factor that you have to look at this is you have to do a proper warm-up. Warm-ups are key when you're getting back into running. Now that doesn't mean I'm going to make you do a warm-up for every 5K that you do, but when you're going back into running after being injured, you need to get on top of a warm-up, and whether that's skips, it's banded sidewalks, it's some skip or it's some bridging, single leg bridging, single leg hops, single leg bounds. We want to try and get that nervous system and those muscular system and those tendon systems nice and warmed up so it's able to move. Now, what that looks like is going to be the first session when you come back after injury is going to be, there's going to be a lot more warm-up exercises than there is running. Then we begin to cut out the warm-up exercise and start to increase the running. Then you increase the intensity, increase the distance, and all in all it comes back into that after a couple of weeks, that warm-up is going to be very minimal, and it's just more maintenance to keep your body ticking over, and then be back into your running program. So yeah guys, like the easiest thing when you're coming back from injury is do an extremely good warm-up and cut down that session for the first couple of sessions until you start to feel a little bit more confident that your body will be able to go out and tolerate those loads when you're going straight into training. There's a reason there's warm-ups there. Every athlete in the world will do one to get their body primed, and that doesn't mean, oh well, I'm only doing 5K and I'm not an athlete. Everything is relative. You may not be running at the speeds that they are running, but your body still needs to warm up. And again, when you get a little bit older, there's a little bit more mileage in the legs. You have to look after it if you want to keep on maintaining that. If you keep on maintaining your training the way you want it to go. Okay, hope that helps. Thanks.